The other thing that really strikes me about this election is with all the seeming momentum that the Democrat nominee would have in this election, no matter who that was going to be, it was very close. McCain's loss and Obama's margin of victory was very narrow. I think the popular vote was 55, 56, something like that. And here you have, there it is, 53 to 46, and Obama, in favor of Obama. Here you have a Republican candidate that supports an unpopular war. You have the public, which generally blames the Republicans for the economic turmoil that we're currently experiencing, falsely in my opinion, or mistakenly in my opinion, I should say. But they do. They blame it on the Republicans. It's understandable, but it's a mistaken notion. But it's understandable. But regardless of it's understandable, if it's mistaken or what have you, the general public has shown um, that they generally blame Republicans for this economy. So you have a Republican candidate that is not popular among the conservative base. You have a Republican candidate that is bearing the brunt of supporting an unpopular war. You have a Republican candidate that is uh, bearing the brunt of perceived responsibility, at least on the part of his party, for the economic turmoil that we're in right now. You have a Republican Party who does not have the support or that is fighting the media's support of his opponent, that is dealing with the media's open and unabashed support of his opponent. You have a very weak Republican candidate. Yet the Democratic nominee only receives 53% of the popular vote. What does that say about Barack Obama's candidacy? People act as if Barack Obama is a political stallion. He's a political stalwart. That he's just a machine. The Republican candidate was dealing with a severe deficit in the way of fundraising. And the Democratic nominee only managed a 53 to 46% victory. This tells me that Barack Obama, despite all the commentary to the contrary, was a very weak and flawed candidate as far as his candidacy goes. Very flawed, very weak, very vulnerable. People do not trust Obama to run the country, and I don't think it's a racial aspect at all. I think people, in fact, his race was a positive for him. The South, where I believe race could have been a negative for him, and probably was a negative for him. The South has been strongly Republican for years anyway. He wasn't going to win the South, the dirty South. He wasn't going to win that. But he won areas like Pennsylvania, Ohio, New York, Indiana by close margins. Places where in the past Republicans had done well and even won. And in fact, I think some white voters were proud to be going and voting for a black man. They preferred voting for a black man because the feeling that it gave them, they were doing something for America to somehow prove to the world that we have put racism behind us, which this election doesn't prove. But that's the way they felt. So here McCain is dealing with all this. He comes out 53 to 46%. Obama has all these favorable factors in his corner. And the election goes that close in the popular vote. And it's really a indication or an indictment of Obama's candidacy, an indication of how little the public trusts him, and how little the public agrees with his agenda. A decent Democratic candidate would have knocked the Republican candidate over, would have just blown him over. I'm talking 60 to 40% or greater margin. But there's a big portion of America that sees Obama's policies as dangerous. And we can all bask in the victory, in the glow of an Obama victory. But just realize, with all this going wrong for the Republican candidate, he only wins 53 to 46%. Not exactly a rousing mandate. There are problems with Obama, and the public saw it. Just John McCain was worse. That's what's really bad. John McCain was worse. So, just interesting.